Hey you guys, so it's Sunshine Vibes with the high vibrations. If you are new to my channel, thank you for watching. If you are returning, thank you for subscribing to your girl. Love and light to you all. I hope you are doing good. So y'all, I'm just giving y'all a little video, okay, because I am about to switch platforms, and it's actually called Sunshine Reloaded 444. Go subscribe to my channel, y'all, because I'm gonna get more into like my journey, okay, the things that I did to overcome a lot of attacks that I went through. My journey has been amazing, okay, because like y'all, a lot of things that we go through are supposed to put us in a place of like feeling abandoned, feeling like a victim. And once I started to elevate my conscious, I started to be more aware of why I was dealing with things, okay, what issues that I needed to heal. And here lately, y'all been looking in the mirror, one more when as I say this, at my inner child. Like I see myself looking in the mirror constantly, and my inner child literally looks at me and just tells me how proud she is of me. I don't want to get emotional because I'm getting emotional because I've always been very emotional. Like I always been a crier. I cried. Okay, 144 as I say this. Crying does not make you weak. Okay, understand that sometimes we think that the things that we feel make us weak, it actually is a strength. It actually makes us strong. So I learned this about myself. I have that gift, okay, of love, of compassion. But I also realized that as a child, I never really stood up for myself, okay? I never really took control of my own life. I kind of always liked to be a shadow. So I'm 30 years old now, and I have done some incredible things in my life, and I am proud of myself. Okay, I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of how far God has took me. God has shown me a lot of things, and He has revealed a lot of truths. Y'all, that little flip is like bothering me. He's revealed a lot of truths, okay, about life, about my perspective on life, about how I control the things that I go through. He has shown me how to dive deep within and to really take myself on a soul's journey. Meaning that we are all individual souls. We are all connected in so many ways, okay? And I love tarot. I love tarot because, like, I'm gonna just give y'all a quick rundown about me getting into tarot. 333 as I say this, okay? Somebody might need to hear this because this is some type of spiritual support for whoever you are, because maybe you are seeking guidance, okay, when it comes to this. When I first was shown, okay, something about tarot, I was actually like, maybe I was like 24, 25. Well, a friend of mine's was watching it on her TV, and I was like, what is this? Turn this shit off. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't gonna lie, I was like, turn it off, okay? What are they talking about? Like, so by that time, I was not consciously aware, okay? Like, I was not aware of like my higher self. I wasn't really listening to my higher conscious, which wasn't a bad thing. It just was like I didn't know. But I was actually shown this from a friend, and I didn't believe it. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. I didn't believe it. I'm like, what? Yeah, whatever. So it actually took me a couple years. By the way, this is the same friend, 444 as I say this. I love y'all, okay? Okay, this is the same friend of mine who we both were looking for jobs. I tell this story all the time, but we both were looking for jobs, and we had pulled up at a library, and she was like, I don't know where the topic came. Okay, we started discussing like religion and all this stuff. It just came out of nowhere. Okay, and she started to say how she don't believe in God. She believes in Muslim religion, and I'm like, well, I don't know too much about the religion, because at this time I was spiritual. Like, I was raised in the church, apostolic, but I was not really religious. Like, I always believed in God because I always had dreams as a kid. Like, God done came to me as in my dreams the first time I ever prayed. So it was almost like, the saying where they be like, he will show you his face, okay? A lot of people, he will show you his face, but it's up to you to believe, right? So I was shown this in a dream after I prayed one time, and I was young. I was a very young girl, and I remember my mom told me to pray because I wanted to pass a test. So I prayed, and God came to me in my dreams, and it blew my mind. I was in 5th grade, and I passed that test. So ever since then, I've been a believer. Like, I've been a believer. Like, I didn't ask God to show me his face, okay? I never asked him to show me his face, but he actually showed me his face. So y'all, I done got off subject, okay? Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Okay, so I had to take a moment to express, because it's like, how you experience things in life, and we get older, so we don't really realize how favored you are. Okay, not saying if you haven't seen God in your dreams, or he haven't came in your dreams, you're not favored. It's just saying, like, we all have our own unique abilities, and when we learn the power that we put behind ourselves and our own souls, you realize how connected, how God-like you are, okay, and your own God-like nature, okay, because he did create us all in his image. So understand this. So the power of the tongue, I realized that I had a lot of power when it came to my faith, okay? And this is because my friend started being discouraged, and her grandfather was a preacher. So she felt like that it wasn't a God because he took her grandfather, okay? And friend, if you're watching this, I love you, girl. I love you so much, because like, we don't talk every day, but like, that's still my dog, okay? It's still my dog, because I have learned a lot from a lot of different people, and I don't know if I really expressed myself to everybody, okay? But even the things that did not, okay, weren't good, there was betrayals, I'm still thankful, y'all. I'm thankful. So anyway, she was speaking about her grandfather, and actually, before she got out of the car, she stepped on some money. I was still sitting in the car, but we was in the car and we was debating. She was like, I believe in Muslim religion, I don't believe in, and I said, well, I just believe in God, okay? I believe in one God, and I was just like, I don't want you to lose your faith in God, period. So she stepped down on some money. She didn't know. She got in the car, she was shaking. I'm like, what's wrong? I just stepped down on some money, and she opened it up. It was $300 bills. She started crying. I started crying, because she said, my grandfather used to always tell me, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. So I'm just letting y'all know, okay, because this friend, I never even knew that concept, okay? Like I said, I believed in God, but I was not big into church. Like, I wasn't really deep in spirituality, or with that being said, I just was happy that she didn't lose her faith, okay? We both were crying and in joy, and I'm like, yes, it was just like tears of joy. Now, a lot of people look at things as a matter of materials, or some people need actual proof, that God is real, and some people just believe. I don't know how to explain it, y'all. It's very supernatural. It's very supernatural, and you have to believe in that power. I'm just telling y'all, the faith. You have to believe in the power, no matter what you're going through in your circumstances. I remind y'all, we both was not working. We both were looking for a job. We both were lost. We both were weary, and if I wasn't a friend of faith, my friend would have lost her faith. But God showed her his hand. You know, her grandfather actually confirmed 10:10, because the thief will come to steal, kill, and destroy. Okay, he came and said we may have life and have it abundantly. So this is just like a lesson, okay, in life, that we think like, why would we friends with this person, or why don't always look at things as a bad thing. Okay, like when you dwell too much on the things people have done, it'll make you bitter. You have to be able to let go and release. So y'all, that was just a part of my experience, okay? Some supernatural experience effect that God had did in my friend's life with me, showing her his faith and his favor on her. You know, like I was telling her granddaddy served his purpose, you know, and it is what it is. And that was her confirmation from not only from God, but from her grandfather. You know, that was really, I'm talking about like the dopest spiritual experience. 11:11. It was like the first awakening that I went through, y'all, because I was just a believer. So getting into tarot. So this is like a few years later, maybe about a year after that. I was going through a hard time. Okay, I was in a very mental abusive relationship. Okay, I don't want to just like say too much, but like about everything about what I went through, because I'm still in the healing process. So I'm just gonna fast forward. Okay, y'all. So I was in a mental abusive relationship. I feel like a lot of things that I went through were based off of my own trauma as well, because I did have like abandonment issues, okay, when it comes to my dad. I remember like yesterday, y'all, I thought I was going crazy. I felt like I needed help. I went to, it's called like 7 counties where I live at, okay, and basically it's for mental health, and you just go, you know, you can sign yourself up, and I literally was gonna sign myself up. So at this time I went in there, I talked to the lady, and she didn't feel like I needed no help. She just felt like that I just needed to pray, okay. She gave me this poem. It was a letter. It was actually a letter, right? And it said a letter from the Lord, and everything that was in the letter, at the end of the letter, I just remember he confirmed that like he was my father. And like ever since that day, it let me know that he was real. It reminded me of my dreams. It reminded me of the things that I went through, the experiences that I had with my friends when he showed me 1313. It reminded me a lot. So I took that, and I still was in a place of despair for some reason. So I remember I spoke to an uncle of mine, and he gave me some words of encouragement. So the words that he spoke to me actually made me want to get closer to God. So I felt, okay, let me go get baptized. Okay, maybe I need to renew my whole body, mind, and soul. So I got baptized. This was like in 2019. So I remember like yesterday, my my child's father's son had said to my daughter, your mama ain't changed. And y'all know, I know what y'all gonna say, like it's a grown person saying it. Yeah, we know that, but like it just made me think, like, people think you go to church, people change overnight. 1414, baby, it's a process. Everything's a process, okay? And we all have our own process. I feel like a lot of people don't realize this, especially a lot of people that are like strictly one religion. It's like, if you don't do this, you're not doing this right. It's like, but baby, we all have our own way of processing things. We all process things different. So I was not really focused, okay, on building my relationship I just thought that going to church was going to help everything. It wasn't really helping. It would have been times where I wanted to go to church and me and my significant other would argue. And I realized that I was fighting a fight, y'all. Like, this is when I first realized that I was fighting a spiritual war. I took care of people. I was a CNA. It got to the point where, y'all, mentally, I didn't even want to go to work because I would go to work talking about my problems at home. And that's not good. Whenever you are at a space where you cannot just go to work and focus on your job, that's the problem. It is. It's a problem. If you got to go to work, hide your mind, that's a problem. It's like it's a real problem. You might want to seek help, go see a therapist, talk to somebody, because mental health is so important, y'all. It's important. So at this time, I backed away from CNA work. Okay, I was making like $25 an hour. I went to work at Rose's for $9 an hour. God showed me his hand again. Okay, it's always, when you humble yourself, God don't have to step in and humble you. Yeah, I'm telling you, when you humble yourself, he does not have to step in and humble you. So I really humbled myself because I really just couldn't work. Taking care of people is like being a mother. So you still have to be nurturing, caring, and if you are not in a good space, that's not good. So I did not want to work in the field at the time. I was getting stirred away from it. So at this time I'm working at Rose's. I ended up getting like a mysterious check in the mail for like $4,000. And I got to furnish my whole apartment. I remember like yesterday. And I was just so amazed because like God just he's good. And it's not even about money. It's the experience. Like when I said, sometimes we do have to humble ourselves. Okay? So I did this. I was in a good mental space, got my stuff together, and I thought things were going good. Well, that year is actually the year that I started my business, Rihanna Marie Creations. I really just wanted to, I didn't really want no business. I really just wanted to learn how to sew because I always like making tutus, ruffle socks. Like I like that type of stuff for my kids, and I spend so much money on it, buying it from other people. I'm like, I want to learn how to do it myself. So I am a self-taught seamstress. I taught myself how to sew. My mother actually helped me a little bit learning the machine. I used to listen to sermons every day. Now, I don't know if I expressed this before, but I used to listen to sermons. I did used to listen to TD Jakes. I started listening to sermons, and I don't listen to them no more, y'all, but I did get a lot of information that I needed to get in order to get me to where I am. So this is why I go back to, some people feel like, you know, well, if you're in terror, why are you at church? It's like, it's a balance. If I'm being called to go somewhere and do something, that's God. Okay, that's what God wants you to do. I always remember that it's not your plan, it's God's plan. Okay, so I'm listening to his sermon, and I remember like yesterday, he said, until you find a passion for your children, you will never receive your blessing. And I started making sure every day that I spent some time to try to learn that machine. Every day. Because I had a passion for my children. I did. And I found that passion for my kids. It wasn't really for me. I didn't want no business. I don't want to be, you know, I'm like, I don't want to be nothing. You know, I was just trying to do something new and learn something new, renew my mind in some type of way, because I had a lot of things on my mind. So at this time, yeah, I actually am writing a book. Well, the book's already done, y'all. I have not did the things that I've said that I was gonna do, but I am, so stay tuned. It's gonna be way more detailed, okay? This is just a little short story. I don't wanna make it too long. So I actually taught myself how to sew. I decided to make it a business because At that time, it was the pandemic. Okay, this is when COVID came, and I wasn't working in the CNA field, so I really didn't have no income. So I started to sell ruffle socks. When I first started, y'all, my ruffle socks was turned apart. You can ask people, they'll tell you. I had girls that supported me and they just wanted to see me do things, and they would buy them anyway. After they break apart, they would just come back. And I was thankful, because it was God showing me, you can do all things. You just got to believe in yourself and keep going. So at this time, I finished my craft. I found a different way to make them. I actually started making tutus. And it amazed me, because sometimes we have gifts and we don't know them. So when you start tapping in to your spiritual side of yourself, you will tap into your highest version of you. At this time, my mom ended up having a stroke. She had a stroke and 3 brain aneurysms. I literally had just started back working. Actually, I had worked one day through a nurse agency, and I went to work. On my way to work, my mom had texted me and was saying that she always wanted to be a seamstress. Okay, she always wanted to make clothes. That's what she told me. 21. She was texting me, and I texted her back and was like, Mom, it's never too late. You can always do it. We can do it together. So this is the beginning of another spiritual awakening, y'all. Okay, this is like the 3rd spiritual awakening. Understand, when you are elevating, you're gonna constantly go through awakenings, or you can stay in karmic situations, right? And that's okay. But if you really want to elevate in life, you really want to, your soul to ascend higher. Okay, this is just the process, the process. So I finally have went back to work, and I remember like yesterday. This is the first sign I ever seen, because I never really gave into numbers, because people say, oh, angel numbers is bad and all of that. Y'all, listen, it's a conscious, y'all. Numbers are conscious. 144,000 is a frequency. Okay, so I seen this number soon after I read her text. It said her birthday on the license plate. So I sent her a picture, and I told her that your birthday, look, okay, it's never too late. So after this, later on that night, she had a stroke. Okay, 3 brain aneurysms. Went to the hospital. It was very traumatic, because they literally said if they didn't do the surgery, then she was gonna die. At this time, I didn't know what to think. I didn't know what to do. My mom was always like my guide in life, because I really never had good guidance, but I did have my mom, So I am very thankful for my mother. They did the procedure. She was in ICU for 30 days. Now, it was still COVID, so only one person could go see her, 23. So I actually stayed at that hospital every day. Could you imagine how mentally, physically draining that it was to even process the thought of losing your mother in the midst of things going good in your life? So I'm thinking, oh, I got a job. I can go back to work. I'm mentally okay to go back to work. And then this traumatic experience happening. Okay, so I went to see my mom every day. My brothers, family members came at the hospital to support. Okay, but they couldn't go back her. So seeing her in the condition that she was in, it did something to my spirit. This is a spiritual awakening. I will go to that hospital every day and just pray. Every day, just pray. Read the Bible to her, just pray. This is when I started getting in my Bible. I remember them saying that if she didn't start breathing on her own, they would have to pull her out the plug. My mom actually stopped breathing. Started breathing. She actually started breathing the day before she had to be off the ventilator. That whole process, y'all, I was distorted. I was really a distorted feminine, okay? Like, I was drinking. I didn't know the outcome. I was afraid, but I knew if I kept praying and I had enough faith to go up there to make sure I was there, that God would show me his face again. And when I say show me his face, I really mean his hand, okay? So he did that. He did his thing. I can't even cry. I just wanted to just shed tears, but he's doing it right now. He's giving me strength to express myself because I've always had a hard time speaking up. Y'all, I'm telling y'all. These is your weaknesses, is your strengths. I'm telling y'all. Okay, so she had to come home. Who's gonna take care of her? She was only in rehab for like a week or two. They only let her go to rehab for like a week or two. My mom was very young, okay? I believe she was like 46 when 48 or 49 when she had a stroke, okay? So we went home and I couldn't work, okay? We didn't have no money at the time. Before, I done skipped some parts, okay? Before she actually came out of ICU, I actually had gotten into a car wreck months prior to her getting sick. And I went into the hospital. I was pregnant, didn't even know it. So I lost that baby literally the next day. I didn't even know I was pregnant. So when my mom was in the hospital, I had got a call from a lawyer. I had forgot all about this. My mom was sick. Y'all ended up getting a check for like $11,000. Now, a lot of people don't know this. A lot of people don't know this. I was so distorted. I didn't give a fuck about that money. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I didn't give a fuck about it. All I kept thinking was, Mama, I'm gonna really make this a business. I kept saying to myself, I kept telling my mama, I'm gonna make this a business. I'm gonna make you proud. I'm gonna do what I need to do. I got that check. I went up there with my mama and I told her every plan that I had. Every plan. I remember like yesterday, like she was actually listening to me, like every plan. And I remember making some clothes while she was in the hospital, and they actually it was a picture of a man and a woman walking on water. And they said, walking by a leap of faith. Big steppers, stepping into a leap of faith. So I was doing everything trying to keep my mind off it. So I was trying to like create things, okay? Not knowing what I was doing, I was just doing it. That's why they say sometimes when you be called to do something, just do it, okay? Just do it, y'all. Don't procrastinate, just do it. You got to try, okay? You gotta try. So I just did this, and I don't want to make this video a little long because I actually just want y'all to know just a little bit about my story, okay? And how I ended up doing tarot, because a lot of people think, well, you know. So I'm just telling y'all my story. So yeah, I got a check. So I started to invest 28 into myself. I invested a lot into myself, and I'm very thankful for this mindset, okay? I'm very thankful for God for the mindset that he has gave me, the new approach, the new perspective he has given me, the new sight he has given me, the unseen, okay? I didn't know that it was a lot more that I didn't see though, okay? So the process, this is the process. The traumas, being in the house where I felt traumatized, it brought back a lot of feelings. Being alone with my mom, taking care of my mom, no help, it put me in the place of child trauma. I started to realize that God was working on me the whole time he was working on her. 29. It was times where I just got so devastated because I couldn't live the same life I lived. I couldn't move how I wanted to move. I felt constructed or confined, you know. It was like, why am I I just didn't feel like I could do the things that I wanted to. So I started to, work more on my craft. I started to pour more into myself, and it was hard. Okay, it got to the point where I just would sit and pray for hours and hours. I actually had stumbled across the video when I was just scrolling on my phone one day, and this man had posted a video, and it's not even on there. I don't even remember his name. And he was speaking about 7 chakras. Never knew anything about this. He was just saying how, if you open up your third eye, you can attract whatever you desire in life and all of this and that. And I'm like, what? So he was like, you have to listen to these frequencies, but these frequencies are not going to be on here for long. Okay, so this video is not going to be on here for long. So if you trying to tap in, you need to tap in, and I'm like, what? So I started to meditate on these frequencies. Amazing. It was like a whole new world, y'all. Like a whole new world was lit. So I started meditating. I actually started meditating. For some reason, I would buy candles. Okay, and I loved going outside in the nature and walk. So taking care of my mother, like my getaway was exercising. I would go walk. Okay, I would pray outside. It was just things that I was just being called to do to stay grounded within the situation. So because it's not really what you think you go through a whole lot, but it's people going through worse, and you have to realize your strengths. Okay, so I started to meditate on these frequencies, and I started to have visions. Okay, I started to have visions. I would pray with my candles, and I started to have visions. And these visions was very vivid. You can ask my mom. I remember waking up to a vision. It was just so amazing, tears, and it's really a feeling. And I'm telling you, people think that you're crazy. You're not crazy. You're seeing it. It's real. We living in the past, the present, and the future. Okay, understand this. But I seen my future, and it was so real. It was so wow. Like, it was like, you think you going through something, but it's so much bigger. Like, I have a bigger purpose of what you're going through. This is just the circumstance. See beyond this. So I seen it. At this time, I started to see more signs after listening to the frequency. So I would see numbers everywhere. I have a video on her that I'm actually going to, I might post it in this video. I might 32 put them together, because I literally had sticky notes everywhere in my room, and I was like expressing myself, right? So once I started seeing signs, and this is where I was gathered to do a channel now. I didn't really know what I wanted to do, but after seeing visions, it was clear that I was being called to do something else. So for some reason, I stumbled across a video of tarot, and I clicked on it. I said, what is this? I said, man, this is weird. My friend used to watch this type of stuff, and something that the girl said resonated with my awakening. So I started to connect with my ancestors. Okay, I didn't just go pick up no cards. I started to listen to meditation that connects you to your ancestors. Now, I ended up having a vision. 33333, as I say this. Yeah, thank you, ancestors. Thank you. Okay, so I started connecting with my ancestors, and y'all, when I say the unseen, I would never think that. Okay, as above, so below. The underworld was the way it is. It is scary. Okay, it's scary. It's like faith. I want to cry so bad, but they are just giving me the strength to say this, because they've been wanting me to say this. Literally, I had my kids is out of school. I had to go in their room because they have been on me. Okay, to express myself, to get in this camera, to do something different, to change things up. Okay, because these shifts are happening, and we have to be prepared, and we got to get y'all ready. We got to get ready, okay, because we got some great things to do here on this world, on this earth, baby. Okay, so you are not alone. I am here with you. Yeah, Okay, so you're not alone. Okay, so you're not alone. And that's when I realized I was not alone. I was actually like, my vision with my ancestors, they had me on a boat. And that's where I believed in like spirit guides and stuff as well. So I was just talking to the ancestor, and what made me afraid was they kept laughing, y'all. I'm like, what is so funny, you know? But I was one of them type of people. But what is so funny? And they was like, they not gonna believe you. And I'm like, what? So I got out of the meditation, and I was kind of shook up by the laughing. So I actually consulted with my grandmother and my auntie. So these is people, these are women of faith, okay? Women of faith, believers, right? So I said something to my auntie about me connecting with an ancestor. Y'all know she put me on the ground. It's funny now. I'm gonna lie, it hurt my feelings, y'all. But it's funny now, okay? And she was like, "That's the devil." Okay, so she supposed to rebuke demons out of me. I remind y'all, I was taking care of my mother alone at this time, okay? So supposedly I had demons in me. So I had actually had cards, and I had just started my YouTube, and I had showed her my YouTube, my first video on YouTube doing a reading, and she laughed. She said, "You don't even know what you're doing." I didn't. A lot of stuff that I did, I didn't know what I was doing. This is why I said, like, y'all, God is a mastermind. You know how people think that they are master manipulators? Baby, ain't nobody more greater than God. Okay? Nobody. So, it was almost like God masked me. Like, it's like he put a naive mask on me, y'all. Like, I'm gonna make you go back to childhood. Yeah, so this is where the childhood came in, kicked in, okay? So, the traumas. Okay, so after this, yeah, this is funny to me now because it's just so funny because it was hurting my feelings. I remember expressing myself to everybody about it, and they just thought it was so funny. But I started to connect with ancestors more. I threw away them cords. Like, I threw away so many cords because I'm like, okay, it's the devil. I don't want to do it. If they said it's not right, it's not right. So I threw them away. I started getting called back to these cords. The cords was calling me. Like, I would pray, I would meditate, and it was like, it was like having, it's like knowing everything to do without having the tool to do it. Okay, so that's when I start to realize that, hold on, I'm connected. I'm really connected. I'm a visionary. I have visions. But I need a tool because I don't know how to navigate. I don't know how to move. This is chess. You feel me? Like, I'm like, this is chess out here. So I started to learn that I'm naive. I'm always letting people control me. I'm always letting people make decisions for me. I'm grown. If I'm not hurting nobody doing tarot, if I'm not destroying nobody's character, if I'm not doing nothing wrong, why does it matter what I do? So I started to buy me more cards, and I started to, learn myself, y'all. And that's how I got into tarot, okay? Me tapping in to my conscious, my higher conscious, my Christ conscious. Things change. This is how I manifested my first vision. Like, I got a video on that. And so, yeah, the house, I didn't own it or nothing like that, but that's not what I asked for. I didn't, pray for to own a house. I literally was in somebody's house. Somebody that I was friends with was remodeling a house, and he asked me, did I want to come over? The kitchen was brand new. It was lovely. I told him to take a picture. I said, I want my kitchen to look just like this. And I was in the process of trying to find somewhere to stay. And I said, in Jesus' name, it shall be done. He laughed at me. It was done. I have a video of this. I didn't even see the front. I didn't see the inside of the house. I just seen the front. I didn't even really want to move there, but I had been looking for somewhere to stay for the longest. And I ended up saging the front of that door with dragon's blood sage. And I just sat in my car and I went ahead and filled out the application. And I was like, Lord, if this is for me, let it be done. So this has a lot to do with frequency. So understand that when it comes to manifestation, you do manifest things based off your frequency. So I believe I manifested that house in that neighborhood because I needed to learn more about my shadow side, more about the dark. This is another spiritual awakening, the dark side of spirituality. Okay, I learned a lot about spirits. Okay, knowing the ancestors and the connections. Okay, the history of my family. Okay, the things that happen that we pay for. Okay, ancestors, the things that we curse our lineage. I started to learn about this stuff. Okay, and the dark side of spirituality, and I'm thankful for the experience because it really taught me a lot. You learn a lot in the dark. So this was just a little 411 on my journey and 4141 and how I started tarot. Okay, everybody's experience is different. Like I said, everybody process is different. Okay, the deeper you get into spirituality, the more you will learn. And sometimes, some of us, we still have to do shadow work. I ain't gonna lie. Okay, I like my shadow now because it's like my inner child is really healed. Okay, so the shadow aspects of me, I am who I am, y'all. I ain't nothing fake about it. I'm being real. I done had a lot of experiences that showed me spirits was real before I even tapped into spirits. Okay, so like you would know if something's for you if you have a lot of experiences and like people show you who you are as you go. You be like, dang, I remember that friend showed me that. I would never think I'd be doing that. Or, it's always something that you would never think that you would be doing. 4242. Don't never think that it's your plan because you can plan your whole life and God will change it up for you. Okay? So never think that. My first encounter with a spirit, I had actually had a miscarriage the first time. Me and my baby daddy had ever messed around. I got pregnant. And he can vouches for me. Okay, this is why I feel like, he believes, okay, because it's a whole lot of non-believers, but he believes. And I actually had to catch the baby in a hatch or whatever because they wanted to make sure that it passed. Okay, so I had to walk around with this dead baby. It was so devastating and depressing. And when I had my baby's father catched it, okay, I was crying. I sat in a tub. And then it was like 2 weeks from Mother's Day, okay? And there was a Mother's Day balloon that was like, it wasn't even inflated. Like it barely had any type of air in it. So I had upstairs. Well, my child's father was sitting on the toilet talking to me while I was in the tub. And he was like, babe, why is this balloon coming up the steps? So the balloon was coming up the steps. The balloon said Happy Mother's Day. The balloon came all the way down the long highway in the bathroom with us. And it was like turning around and went all the way back down the steps, all the way to my back door. And stayed at my back door. So I jumped out the tub. We looking, we like, what the? And we opened the door and it flew up in our. Y'all, my experiences losing babies, bruh. Like I have lost 3 kids and like, this is really confirmation to someone. If you have lost a child, if you have lost a loved one, there's life after death. For There is life after death. And once I got more into my spirituality, I realized I have a lot of spirit babies that are watching over me. A lot of spirit babies. I was getting gifted, like literally I just got this other angel, okay, from my mom's roommate. Like, she just keeps giving these to me, and it's like every time I rank up spiritually, I believe she gives them to me, because it'd be like I'll be going through something and her to go like, girl, you are not what you going through. You better walk your walk and talk your talk, okay? So I just wanted to let y'all know that you're not alone, okay? You have lost over loved ones watching over you, guiding you, helping you, okay? Understand that everything ain't gotta be all good, but it ain't gotta be all bad neither. So make sure that you're not letting other people dictate your life, control your life. Take control of your life, okay? Take control over your intuition. Don't let people get in your head. Don't let people trigger you. Learn to have self-control. Learn to have discipline. It's the best place to be. You on your journey with God, with the universe, whatever you pertain, okay? Even if you're not, and you know, it is what it is. You're a believer though. So if you believe, keep on believing, keep on having faith, okay? Because like I said, everybody's process is different, everybody's journey is different. And I just wanted to spread y'all some little love and light, some little joy, okay? Some little story time. And I hope that, you know, you learned something, okay, today, or that, you know, you could take something and it'll resonate with you. And that's all I want to say, y'all. I'll be back. Love and light. Namaste. Ashe.